Hello and a warm welcome to News Across Nigeria. I am Olumide Macaulay. This is the show where we take you on a journey of knowing what's happening across the Nigerian Federation. On the program today, the BORNO state government offered support to tackle the humanitarian crisis caused by the insurgency. In the aftermath of the fire that razed the market in Anambra, the governor on an assessment visit. The Edo State Tipper Drivers Association in a standoff with the Edo State government. And we start in the northeastern part of the country. The International Rescue Committee says it will support efforts of the Nigerian government in tackling humanitarian crisis in the northeast. The committee, which is on a fact-finding mission in Maiduguri, has also been talking to the BORNO State Governor Kashim Shettima at the Government House. The Rescue Committee says it's interested in complementing government's efforts by providing a bridge for persons displaced by the insurgency to live normal lives again.
Nearly 2 million persons displaced from their homes by the Boko Haram insurgency are now living in Maiduguri, the capital city of Borno State. While most of them live in makeshift camps, a good number prefer to live with relatives in the host community. Their plight has continued to attract the attention of humanitarian organizations. The International Rescue Committee team, led by its president, David Miliband, and the Irish ambassador to Nigeria, are the latest guests of the Borno State government. They are here to support efforts to rehabilitate the displaced persons.
We understand that the role of the international humanitarian sector is to support local people and to support the efforts that are being taken by local leaders to bring back normality to this part of the world. We are determined to play our role in helping those who have been displaced from their homes make a voluntary and effective and sustainable return to their homes and to restore dignity to them when they do return. In that sense, we hope that we can provide a bridge from the emergency that exists to the development that you seek to lead.
The governor is asking the humanitarian organizations to begin to channel their intervention programs towards women and girls who he said are most vulnerable in conflict situations.
I believe we are in a unique opportunity to really empower our people, re-engineer our society, and most especially issues of gender empowerment. Women constitute the bulk of our population. They are the most marginalized, the most oppressed, and they bore the brunt of this insurgency.
Internally displaced persons have been dislodged by Boko Haram from 20 out of 27 local government areas in the state. They are unable to return to their homes because most towns are in total disrepair and pockets of violence still occur in other areas.
Meanwhile, the Presidential Committee on Insurgency is committing 15 million naira towards the rehabilitation of victims affected by the Northeast insurgency. The monies will be used to procure health equipment, drugs, and food. The Chief Medical Director of the Sani Abacha Hospital in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, said some items have already been procured and ready to use across hospitals in the state. He said the insurgency triggered the influx of people into the hospitals, which has overstretched the health facilities.
My call is that they maintain these items, particularly the equipment, and that they put it into good use. And our hands, or the hands of the hospital, is open to any donor agency of this kind, because we are really in need, and this thing will help a lot towards providing health care to victims of insurgency in Yobe State.
We have massive influx of insurgents from almost every direction, and it has stretched the meager resources. Before the insurgency, let's say we used to see about 150 to 200 pediatric cases. But with the onset of insurgency, I guarantee you sometimes we see up to 400 patients per day. So it has, overstretched the health facilities. However, I must appreciate, and most people appreciate, the effort of government, state, federal, and more especially donor agencies. They have been doing a lot. I forgot to tell you, as part of our little contribution, we bought some food items, which, as I said, you can go and verify at the store in the Ministry of Works, the SEMA store. We felt those victims, they have numerous problems. Most of them have malnutrition-related problems, and we felt giving them reasonable food will help them in maintaining healthy. They have a lot of problems ranging from normal, or let me say common diseases, diabetes, hypertension, TB, liver disease, several other things. So whatever is done, it's not too much. And I believe with collective efforts between the local governments, state government, federal government, and NGOs, we continue to give them the best of care.
From the northeast, news across Nigeria takes you to the north central, where 6 persons have been confirmed dead in a Fulani herdsman clash with the Igede youth at the Oju local government area of Benue State as herdsmen returned from grazing during the dry season. The details of the native farmers and Fulani herdsmen were disclosed to Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State, when he convened a peace meeting between the warring parties. The Transition Committee chairman of the local government, Mr. Omenyi, says 2 of his kinsmen were killed by the herdsmen, who also lost 4 persons in turn in the battle.
It's a peace meeting convened by the Benue State Governor to look into the latest crisis involving Fulani herdsmen. This time, the clash between the cattle rearers and youth in Igede led to the death of 6 people, with the herdsmen suffering the biggest casualty. The Transition Committee chairman of Oju local government gives details of what led to the clash.
The other 2 sets that were there, some had been there for close to 10 years. Fulani men, no trouble, no problem. So this last set that came about 3 weeks, between 3 weeks, 1 month ago, it is just their animals that went into eating crops of my people. The route they wanted to take was across a cassava field and rice field. So the youth said, no, you can't go through that route again, you are going to destroy our crops. Go through this route where you don't have so many crops. That was what led to trouble.
Speaking through an interpreter, spokesman for the herdsmen in Benue South, popularly called Zone C, tells the governor that 4 of his kinsmen were killed, with 3 of them beheaded and many cattle rustled.
Yesterday they discovered 1 dead body, and after yesterday they discovered 3 dead bodies without head. He now called the commissioner of police, informed him that this is what they have found it. Now the commissioner of police gave instruction to the chairman, and chairman went down to the bush with some boys. They discovered those 3 heads.
Governor Samuel Ortom, who had earlier held similar meetings with Tiv and Fulani headsmen in Makurdi, warned warring parties against taking the law into their hands.
Anytime there is a breach or a trespass on your farm, if you report, we have people working with us who can go after the herdsmen. If they run away, they will arrest them and make them to pay for such destruction. And on the part of Meyati and the herdsmen, I want to appeal to them never to take laws into your hands. Where there are breaches, report to us. We are quite responsive and ready to attend to issues that concern you.
North or south, it's not the first time that clashes have been settled between Fulani herdsmen and people in their host communities. Even when warring parties settle their differences, the herdsmen continue to insist that the best solution to the problem will be the establishment of grazing routes and ranches.
The federal government is set to probe the dualization of the east-west road that is still under construction, Akwa Ibom, River State. Details when we come back on News Across Nigeria.